The text came out and black people immediately split in half. One side is still fighting for his freedom. The other side is looking at the same messages and saying he earned every year that he got. Same case, same facts, completely different conclusions. That's what this really is today. These are the messages that started the new argument.
Karmelo Anthony, it is not looking good for this boy whatsoever, because now there are claims coming out that the situation that happened between him and Austin Metcalf at the track meet was premeditated. It has been multiple text messages between him and his girlfriend, high school girlfriend, of him, and this is weeks before, of him saying that, you know, I'm going to lick the, he has this pure intentions of creating harm on somebody. Now, is that specifically Austin? Probably not, but he have this demonic intention on harming somebody. There's a text message between him and the girl that he was with, basically saying that he's going to lick the blood off the knife and that he's going to intentionally do harm on somebody. Oh man, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. And the thing about it is, this evidence wasn't even in the trial. It was left out of the trial. And this isn't the first thing. It's been multiple things that we've been hearing that was left out of the trial. And you know what? I think that's the reason why a lot of black activists, such as your Al Green, Al Sharpton, that's the reason why you don't see them around this anymore, because they know the truth. They know exactly how bad this is. Now, they are wanting another trial, a retrial. But here's the thing about that. They was able to get the judge that worked on it out, but he was already on the verge of, you know, being out, because I think he was retiring next month, actually. So, but this could look worse for him. He could get more than 35 years. More than 35 years. I don't know what the agenda is, but it's like, and I don't know who's in charge of this whole operation, but it seems like they just keep screwing up, because initially he was supposed to accept the plea deal, but the parents didn't want the plea deal because they wanted to continue to generate money off of GoFundMe. And I don't know. This is a hot mess. This is a hot mess. They're doing more damage to this boy's life, okay, with creating this ruckus, right? This unnecessary ruckus. We are at a point where Black Hollywood and black activists, top activists, have abandoned the situation.
Knife pitches, talk about blood, hours before the stabbing. That's what they saying. And that's not heat of the moment, right? That's a mind already in a dark place. When half the comments still treat him like a victim after seeing that, you're not watching justice, you're watching loyalty over evidence. Then comes the version that removes all responsibility.
Y'all, let's talk Karmelo Anthony really quick. He never stood a chance. Those white men used him like a science experiment. Toby Shook, Mike Howard, Bill Worski, Judge John Roach. All good friends, allegedly. We know Toby and Bill are friends, still friends to this day. Gentleman deals off the side, unwritten agreements, because that's the way we do things in Texas. Sidebar conversations in the judge's chambers that Karmelo was never privy to. Agreements that protected the character of Austin Metcalf. And when Karmelo made it very clear that he wanted to testify, the deal was off the table, and he had 10 minutes to decide if he could go up against Bill Worski. Are you kidding me? His constitutional rights were violated. Toby Shook testified under oath. He would say that that was indeed a violation of Karmelo's constitutional rights. What are we doing here? They utilized him to get a notch on their belt, to go out with a bang, and sentence him to 35 years in prison for the death of Austin Metcalf. But you didn't give him a fair and equal trial. And because of that, it is my hope that he gets one.
Calling it a science experiment is clean. It means the texts don't count. You know, the choices don't count. And a dead teenager becomes collateral. Once you decide that the outcome was fixed from the beginning, nothing he did can ever be on him. It's not analysis, yo. That's straight protection. But not everyone is willing to rewrite it.
I know what everybody's wondering here. They're saying, what's going on in this picture? Well, I'll tell you. You have a bunch of black women in Texas advocating for the release of Karmelo Anthony. That's right, advocating for the release of a violent young black thug who took the innocent life of Austin Metcalf when he took a knife to a track meet and took Austin Metcalf's life. And since Karmelo Anthony got sentenced to 35 years, black people across the country have been upset, rioting, pissed off, angry. They're saying that Karmelo Anthony didn't get a fair trial because there is no black jurors. Well, I'm actually glad that there's no black jury. The last thing I want is for somebody to sit there and say that Karmelo was a victim of systemic racism or oppression. No. I'm glad that he got locked up. Well, there is a new update. The judge who was overseeing the trial had to recuse himself because the lawyers for Karmelo Anthony were advocating and saying that he was unfit and unfair. Now, just because there's a new judge doesn't mean that there's going to be a new trial. But me, for one, I hope there's a new trial because I don't think Karmelo sentence got it right the first time. I hope he gets life. Austin Metcalf doesn't get a second chance, so why should Karmelo?
So
I know what everybody's wondering here. They're saying, what's going on in this picture?
This side isn't confused. The young man is dead and people are still outside demanding release like the evidence is optional. I'm just saying, guilt doesn't care about a crowd size when the facts are this clear and the reaction is still let him go. The argument stopped being about truth a long time ago. And then the story gets flipped completely.
Spray painting graffiti, including KKK Kill All Blacks and Heil Hitler, along with the N-word, and were sentenced to 12 months of juvenile probation. Records reveal they reportedly told authorities, "We did some dumb stuff. We did some vandalism." There are several documented instances of Austin using racial slurs in school. And in 2023, Austin was accused of bullying a black student in class. In 2018, while still in elementary school, Austin and his brother were accused of bullying and assaulting a female, which led to his arrest. During an argument in 2024 with another female student, Austin allegedly knocked her to the ground and punched her in the stomach. He was also kicked out of a football game and texted someone later, "I was about to beat the expletive out of those kids." At a previous track meet, when another student alerted Austin that someone not on their team, quote, "behind our bench was talking wild," Austin reportedly replied, "Kill that MF." During the 2023-2024 school year, he received in-school suspension twice. School disciplinary records from April 2022 to May 2024 reveal that Austin reportedly called a teacher the B word and used profanity. He told a school official that he couldn't control it and wasn't aware that it was coming out of his mouth. In 2024, on at least 5 occasions, Austin saw a counselor regarding his anger and rage during a football game. In 2021, he got banned from attending basketball games for a season after yelling profanity at a player. Metcalf also got suspended after he and another student were talking about bringing a gun to school the following day.
Now the victim and his brother become the menace. Past mistakes are real. They still don't turn a federal stabbing into a public service. That kind of leap only happens when the goal is protecting one side, no matter what the details show. And y'all remember them. Conversation, it takes another sharp turn.
If you don't mind, can I have your name and who you represent?
My name is Crystal Muhammad. I represent the New Black Panther Party for self-defense.
Okay.
I'm going to step up.
Yes, ma'am.
She's trolling us with that music back there.
I know it's really, really loud. But we're going to get through it. So, my question is, so you guys coming out here today, I know a lot of people actually really don't even know that the Black Panther Party still exists. So can you tell me some things that your organization does?
If they don't know the Black Panther Party exists, they haven't been in the movement. Because anybody that's been in the movement and conscious know we have. Mm-hmm. We've been everywhere, something been going on there. Our website is nbpp.org. We're a continuation of Black liberation and freedom fighters. The New Black Panther Party was founded here in Dallas, Texas in 1989 at the heels of the crack epidemic. And we've been fighting for justice all across America, KKK. We all here today because we already knew what the verdict was going to be. We knew it was going to be racist. We knew when it was an all-white jury. We knew when the judge and the DA was at a party with Metcalf's dad. The judge should have recused himself. The DA should have recused himself. The fix was in. This whole situation.
Oh, man. Different topic, same reflex. The moment someone from the community says the uncomfortable part out loud, the demand for accountability disappears. You can't claim you want better while treating honest criticism like an attack. You know, their double standard is part of why nothing changes. Now, let's just go and get to the bigger picture.
Every individual you see chanting in this video is goofy. This is so embarrassing. I don't know how they're not embarrassed. And this is why they're goofy. They're out here chanting about Karmelo Anthony getting justice or not receiving the justice he deserves because he was convicted after stabbing a white kid in the chest and killing him, might I add. Now, here's an interesting statistic. In between 35 and 50% of the time that a black person is murdered in this country, they don't find the individual who did it. So I'm going to read you some individuals. Jalen Griffin, age 12, a black kid from Buffalo, New York, has been missing since 2020. His remains were found in an attic in 2024. Police have treated it as a homicide and continued to seek information into 2026 with no arrest publicly reported. Tyler Johnson, another black kid, age 15, from Southfield, Michigan, fatally shot in a hotel room in February of 2024. As of early 2025 reporting, witnesses had not fully cooperated and no arrest had been made. Another black kid, Rashawn Sims, age 16, from Monroe, Louisiana, shot near his home in July of 2023, still described as unsolved in the mid-2025 coverage. And from what I've seen, there's still been no announcements saying that they found the person who killed him. Jordan Lachelle Fitzpatrick, another black kid, age 16, from the Tuskegee/Montgomery area in Alabama, disappeared in 2023. Remains were identified in 2025 and the case reclassified as a homicide investigation. No public arrests have been reported at the time of the identification announcements. And still, as of today, we still haven't seen I haven't seen anything come out when I looked for it. This is why I say these women are goofy. Again, let's go on the low end. 35% of the time a black person is murdered in the US, the murderer is still at large. I don't see these women chanting justice for the individuals who were murdered. Think about it. On average, there are around 10,000 black people murdered every year in this country. 35% of the time, the murderers are not found. It's really higher, but I'm going on the low end. And I don't see these women out chanting justice for all the individuals who were murdered and their murderers haven't been found. And this is why it's goofy, because they don't have the same energy over here. Many black Americans have this traumatic obsession with race when it comes to white and black people. Black people are murdered every single day. They say nothing. Then all of a sudden it has to do with a white person. Now they're all about it and we got to get justice because we don't like the outcome. Crazy. Anyway, guys, don't forget free email newsletter, link in my profile.
Now, the energy only shows up for certain names. When the violence stays inside the community and the cameras aren't already there, the urgency fades. And we know that selective fire doesn't protect anybody. It just decides which deaths are worth performing over. So, you know, this split is not about having different opinions. It's about what people do when new facts arrive. Some adjust, some dig and protect the original story even harder. A teenager is dead, all right? That's the bottom line. The texts are public and half the reaction, you know, still treats the killer like the other one who needs saving. I don't really know how to rip my... I can't even talk. I'm rebooting. Now, until the standard stays the same, no matter who is holding the weapon, the argument will continue and the count will keep rising. That's the real call. So, if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to put... I just want you to put facts over feelings. That's what I feel today. And then I'm going to leave you with Galatians 6 and 7. Don't be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. Be saved. Go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.